and welcome to Line, proudly sponsored by Hollywoodbets. We are on the eve before our Cheltenham Festival preview night in the Tower Hotel in Waterford. Just finished the Brentford one, which was all right, not too shabby. But the real piece of resistance is tomorrow.
That's because I'm back.
No, so we're playing golf.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Don't mind you.
Tom's not.
No, Tom doesn't like golf.
No, I've got work. I've got to meet with the bank tomorrow. The joys of life, lads. You're playing golf, and I've got to go sit for a meet with a bank.
We'll be thinking of you.
Yeah, do.
I learned two things from the preview last week.
Right.
One, I would not get on with Rixie.
No, I didn't either.
That was the number one. And two, the fella at the end just said Hillcrest over and over.
Six
and over
times,
again.
I think, in 30 seconds.
Hillcrest. Who would you like to win the Gold Cup? Well, Hillcrest. So there you go.
I'll give you a third one.
Go first.
I thought I had just unearthed a gem out of Jamie Moore. I said, this is why I'm on this show. I've got a 100-to-1 shot out of him that nobody else is going to ask him about. It's not running. It's not even entered. Absolutely tucked up like a kipper.
Well, the horse that came second last week, with that running in a handicap, shall we have one more?
I don't know. I think it's been held for injury.
If he would stop running
2 hurdles.
straight through hurdles, he might be a decent horse.
Yeah,
That horse.
last 2, boom, boom.
Yeah,
Would have won.
yeah. Probably would have won, yeah.
Stupid bastard.
Chris Gordon's horse is all right, though. He's a good trainer.
He's not too bad. Right. Tickets are still available for tomorrow or today. We're depending on how you're watching it, when you're watching it. Starts at 8 o'clock. 3 of us: Gavin Lynch, Andrew Blair White, Darragh O'Keefe, and Adrian Flanagan is doing the MC. Good crack. There's prizes on the night. The old Pimlico racing lads are giving away 2.5% share in the Zoff, aka Zoffany Bay. What else is there? Reserved and closed tickets for the Punchdown Festival. A table for 4 at the Tramore Festival Ladies' Day. A table for 2 at the Hollywoodbets Gladness Stakes Day at the Curragh on April, the 10th. And a few other things to go along with that. So if you're not doing that on Thursday night or tomorrow night, whenever, sure, come down to Waterford for the bus.
3 tickets and win a share of the racehorse. And listen to us and Gavin Lynch and ABW. Happy days. And
Darragh O'Keefe.
Not a bad Thursday night, really.
Yeah, it's going to be good fun. It's a good day. Day off work.
I don't know if poor Darragh knows what he's getting himself in for.
I think Jay might have kind of filled him in a bit.
Who?
Jay Dunphy.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
I
Because
think
I think Jamie asked at one stage last week, was this a wind-up? And I think Kevin Sexton got the fright of his life on the one 2 years ago as well. So,
Well, he didn't say that from us, though. People, every second question. So is Gosh going to win the Gold Cup? Was Gosh going to win the main hurdle? He's going to win that.
He literally turned around to one fella. Some fella asked him a question, like, I don't know, like, is Gosh going to win the Gold Cup or something stupid? And he turned around and he's like, is this a wind-up? It's very funny.
He looked like if he could have jumped out the window at one stage, he would have.
So his problem now was that Arsenal were playing.
Oh, he likes
He's a
Arsenal.
hard Arsenal fan.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's
Felt bad.
Arsenal are useless. Spurs are useless. Man United are useless.
I had a good chat with him.
Useless. Brentford.
Have a guess who's never getting tickets to the Brentford game again.
I get to go.
told myself.
You know what?
I enjoy going to the games, but they haven't scored a goal yet.
That could be your fault, Tom.
0 goals.
Oh, in the middle of the preview as well.
In the middle of the night. I thought you were going to start singing out there.
In the middle of the
Walking
preview.
in there. What is it, Dave?
Don't be trying to get around what you said about Star Sports in the middle of the
He
preview.
mentioned another bookie in the middle of the preview. I was watching that. I was like, what is he fucking doing?
The Star Sports guys. for context, I think we said this on the last show, but for context, the Star Sports guys were actually sat in the room. So I was having a bit of banter with them. And William had just asked the question. So I wanted to get a bit of free Star Sports promotion for them. Hopefully they'll keep my account open. Because I got another account restricted to 88 cents on a horse at 7-1.
Stop backing French value then.
I wonder if I go and watch a Brentford game, will the score? Is it Tom?
Could be Tom.
I wonder.
I got told by one of the Brentford guys over there, because I said, I think this is me now at this stage. And he said, no, it's definitely not you. It's definitely the team.
Well, so you can see it though when Ericsson came on. The difference. He was spraying balls around the place.
I tell you, Spurs could do with him back. They are fucking useless.
Terrible.
It's a good job me and Andrew were sat in the sponsors section, because every time the ball went back to the centre back and the goalkeeper, we're like, oh, what's he going to do now? Oh, he's gone long. He's gone long. They kicked it long. Their strikers weren't very big, and Newcastle got two massive centre halves. Every time they did the same thing, and Newcastle won the ball.
No, it's like watching Waterford United back in the head.
Some of the football. Some of the football I've watched over the last couple of weeks, my eyes are bleeding watching it. It's terrible.
And our left back was terrible. Every time it was like watching Rashford playing left back. Ran into everyone, lost the ball about 20 million times.
We're getting off topic, but like the race is not great anyway. But do you know what I don't understand about football at the moment?
Why it's so shit.
Like, the majority of them are on copious amounts of money each week. And not a single person is able to take a fucking corner kick. Not one of them. They can't beat the first man. Every corner. It's back. Oh.
You literally just have to get your foot under the ball and just turn your foot that way slightly. So it curls.
The season starts in August. Right? It's March. I think it was the end of February last week. That would make sense.
Really?
Yeah, that would make sense.
That would make
sense.
Man
United, and I'm a United fan, scored their first goal from a corner.
I know.
That's 9 fucking months, like.
9 months and say an average of what, 4 or 5 corners?
Easy. It's a free play.
And the size of Harry Maguire's head.
It's like he has a washing machine on the top of his head and he can't fucking score a corner. But it's not his fault because the ball doesn't even reach him.
Lads, are we getting the consortium together anyway? What do you reckon? The three of us, $1 billion each. We go buy Chelsea. Chelsea's for sale. Have you heard this? Chelsea's for sale.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor apparently wants to buy it.
Yeah, you don't have enough money, unfortunately.
He's 187 million.
Yeah, it's a little
small bit.
2 point lots of billion. Not enough.
He needs a loan. He needs a loan.
We each go find $1 billion each off someone and head up the Chelsea consortium. Imagine the three of us sit down and do the press conference. We've just bought Chelsea. It's some crack, lads.
So Kepa is never playing again.
You're sacked. The manager gets sacked straight away for.
Yeah, I like you. You can stay. Ante, you're never going anywhere. Lukaku, there's the door. Use it.
Yeah. See, you disagree with me on this because you play competitive football at a high level. But genuinely, if I was a manager and like that, there was a corner and they didn't beat the first man, I'd be like, take your shirt off. You're going on. Get the fuck. Sit behind me. I would. I'd just take him off straight away. So if you do something wrong like that, you don't deserve to play. Like
I would pay money to see Dave manage a kids team. I would pay big money.
And you know,
your man that can't even reach the box. You didn't beat the first man. Get off.
Do you know who does it all the time? Right, Rashford. When he gives the ball away and then he runs after it, and he just kicks the fella that took the ball off. I'd be the same. Get the fuck off. I'd be like, come here, you. Sit down. And it's not because you gave the ball away. It's because you gave away a free for no reason. No, sit down.
That bothers me. Someone that hacks down something for no reason. Fair enough, you're one and up, and it's a counter attack, and it's the 88 minutes. Then you hack him down for everything you work. But like, just laziness tackle that. I used to kill people.
I'd be bad manager, Tom. There'd be certain rules that, like, if you did it, you'd never play again. You'd be gone.
He wouldn't last long in the dressing room.
I'd have no players.
He wouldn't last long.
I'd have no players.
You wouldn't get on with me if you were managing me.
No, I'd be rootless. I'd be rootless now.
I'd go for you every day of the week.
You do one thing wrong, like, don't come back next week. Clearly, like, don't come back.
And he'd say that to a 7-year-old as well.
What?
Anyway,
We should start a football podcast. So great.
It's too boring.
boring.
We make it entertaining.
I think we're set with the horse racing now.
Okay.
See, the only thing with a horse racing podcast or horse racing broadcasting, you can actually turn around and say that guy played crap, and there's not too much of a comeback. Like if we are where we are, but if you were on like mainstream broadcasting and you're like that jockey rode bad, it's like you've just shot their mother or something. Like it's terrible. You can't criticize because it's such an enclosed group of people. At least with other sports, you can say they had a bad day.
It comes back to how many winners have you ridden on your chair?
Yeah. Well, a lot of sports pundits in general have never played at a competitive level, but they know what they're talking about. Like, so
I disagree with you more as well on Goshen, and I said it to him, Dave. I don't know if you heard that there's this thing about Goshen can't go left-handed, and he can't ever go back to Cheltenham. Now Goshen is mental. Goshen could be going a loop-the-loop in France, a figure of 8, and he could do anything. His best run of his life was the Trifurda, and he was going to absolutely bolt up, and that was a Cheltenham. I don't buy it at all.
He wasn't that brave on Thursday, was he?
He's
I said it to him.
I know.
I heard you, Tom, and I agree with you. Like, I think he could easily go nuts going right-handed as well. It's just a matter of when he's going to go nuts, and you just don't know. Like
he went around Linfield the other day, and he did pull like a fucker and hang like a bastard, hang like a gate, as they say. Yeah, and he still nearly won.
I don't know. There was a crowd there at Cheltenham that day as well, and everything. So I think he's just
maybe he likes a crowd. Because when the crowds came back, he started winning again.
He's like Paolo Di Canio, if you liken him to a football player.
You never know when he's going to floor a referee.
Yeah,
he's either going to score a bicycle kick from the edge of a box or nut someone.
Yeah, but you know what you're like.
But you were excited to go watch him.
If you're back in Goshen, you know that there's a definite chance he could run off the track. Like there is, like.
Yeah.
Ruby actually done a decent enough analysis of the race at, was it Wincanton he won? The last one against the Adagio.
Yeah.
And he said Tom School's at fault. He said he should have gone up the inside up. Because if he hadn't been outside of Goshen would have just drifted to the right-hand side. Because that's what he does. And when you obviously drift out into the middle of the track, the Adagio he would have given away lengths. And he's like, I guarantee if you talk to Tom School, he'll say that as well.
Imagine this thing going chasing next season.
Yeah. And Ruby was kind of saying what Tom was saying as well, and the fact that like he doesn't jump straight.
He just jumps.
Tom School on that particular day was like, oh, he is jumping straight, so I don't need to be going on the opposite side up. And then it ended up being a bad thing.
Talking of Ruby, did you hear he was on a Cheltenham preview the other day, last week?
Don't mention it.
Did you hear who he?
Don't mention it. We're getting a free round of points if you don't mention it. Of
all the Willie Mullins horses, of all of them, what's he got? 13 favourites.
We're getting a free round of points if you don't mention.
Oh, who is?
Us.
I'd rather mention it and not pay for my points, to be honest. To look at the dismay on your face.
Right, we make a deal. If you come,
who are the 3 points from? Who are the 3 points from?
See, he doesn't care, but now he cares.
You don't even read, like.
No. Where was this? In the WhatsApp group. No, I didn't see that.
You've ruined it now because
technically he didn't mention it.
He did because we're talking about it.
Talking about what?
You ruined it.
About what?
No, you ruined it. You can buy me a point now.
I'll buy you a point. I'll buy you a loaf of garlic bread as well. Do you want some garlic bread as well, Andrew, or just a pint?
I want you to come to the pub on Tuesday is what I want to do.
Yeah, I've got to work. So Ruby Walsh has napped him, and Joe Chambers, the racing manager, said on the Nick Look Daily podcast today, other podcasts are available, including the Finishing Line, He said, we decide around Christmas time that he's either next year's Supreme Horse or let's see if a mark of 139 gets honoured. And it did, in the shape of 129. We decided all systems go for the Boodles.
Do you know the way Tom was talking about there? Like, you can't say certain things on like the mainstream podcast, and we're lucky to have what we have.
Not be a mainstream.
That's another prime example, because Tom is always late, and every fucking podcast mentions another bookie or another podcast or something that he shouldn't mention.
Yeah, every single time.
Yeah.
Well, I only saw that today, to be fair, because it was retweeted by Josh Stacey of Let's Talk Racing. So that's the only reason I saw it.
You get through this, I'm going.
I'd say I'm pretty sure Josh.
He's massive, by the way.
Yeah, he's very tall. Very tall.
He's at least 6'5".
Very tall, and he's very young looking. But you know,
because he is young.
I have christened him, and he don't know this yet. But if he watches this, he'll find it out. He is literally the Grim Reaper of racing.
Jesus Christ!
Because every time on Twitter, and like I wouldn't be on Twitter as much as you guys, but you go on and he has bad news about a horse. It's not running, or a trainer said he's not running, or there's a horse injured, or he didn't get the right mark. It's the Grim Reaper.
Lads,
and he's so tall as well, and scary looking.
While we're recording this, it's all breaking news it's breaking news. Luton have beaten Chelsea 2-1 at half time. Bloody hell. But the other breaking news is apparently it's all go on the I can do it again. You're going to love this, Andrew. On the Betfair exchange, where there's been moves in the Supreme.
I have enough.
He's gone.
I have enough.
He's gone.
Get me. I'm going to be sacked in the morning. You do realise this pays your bills, not the value now. This pays your bills.
I'm sat here sponsoring and advertising Hollywoodbets.
They're doing a great job for Betfair as well, must I add.
Well, you mentioned it. Sir Gerhard into 4.7 for the Supreme. Dysart Dynamo out to 7.2.
In the back post when Nigeria get forward on the right side too. They look great. I feel like I'm pointing to track because there's always, whenever a tournament starts.
What the fuck is that?
My computer just started talking. Oh!
And you think me mentioning other stuff is why we went out a mainstream podcast? Jesus Christ.
It's a long week.
And people think I'm the mad one.
Dysart Dynamo to 5.2 for the
that the other day.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I've been pretty sure all along that it was just pasturing, and Sir G was going to the Supreme, and Dysart was going to.
Sir G.
I did. Dysart's going to the Ballymore, so we'll see.
Yeah,
but let me tell you this, Tom. I was sent a stat earlier.
That's okay.
Now, I didn't check this up, but on reflection, I don't know. I don't know if it's lies.
So whatever he says, don't.
I don't know if it's lies. I don't know if it's the full truth either.
But you're going to go with it because it's going to annoy me. That's the whole of this conversation.
Yeah.
Go with it. I like
and on reflection, thinking back, because I'm good at the old quiz questions, I can't think of any other horses, so I think it is right. But Willie Mullins, in the last, I think, 4 years at Cheltenham, or 41 handicaps, is 3 from 41, or whatever it is with the numbers anyway. But the strike rate is not good, Tom, in the old handicaps, basically.
In other words, start getting worried.
3 winners from 41 runners in the old handicaps, most recently.
But the problem is he probably has 5 in every race. So that completely skews that stat.
Did not worry you?
No, not at all. Does it worry you about... Did it worry you about Galloping de Champs last year? Not Galloping de Champs. Yeah, Galloping de Champs.
Yeah. Well, he's a grade 1 horse, though.
But he wasn't before he ran the handicap.
No, he was. You could see it.
No, he wasn't. He got tanked. State man. Are you worried about State man then in a handicap because of that stat? No chance.
No, I would think if he goes for the county now, he's a bit short. He's about 5-1 now. That's a bit short for me now.
It's plenty short, yeah, but I do think he'll win. It's
so
what I was saying.
You think Willie's going to have 2 handicap winners?
You think you'll have 2 handicap winners?
Because you think your horse is going to win and then State Man's going to win.
Yeah.
This is literally what tomorrow night's going to be like, isn't it?
And what about all the rest of the races?
What about all the rest of the races?
He doesn't give a shit about the rest of them. As long as the board was all he wants.
As long as
A
State
rat.
Man and garlic bread win, you don't care.
Garlic bread wins. I'm off on Thursday and Friday. I will be in the pub.
You won't. You're off the beer.
I probably won't even watch the Gold Cup, lads.
Because you won't be able to see it.
No, this is what I was saying in the WhatsApp group. Though. This is kind of on a half serious note here. I assess all these races individually. I would look into something if horses had a bad record for a reason. But some of the stats that are like no favourites in the last 8 runnings have won. It's just not that relevant. It's really not. Like if 4-year-olds don't win the Supreme, yeah, I'd read into that because they're underdeveloped horses. But some of them don't hang your hat on the stats.
Yeah, but there is some stats that are relevant, as you said. One of the stats for the noodles or the boodles or the Fred Winter is
hot noodle 2.5.
You say Willie Mullins is 0 out of 16. I swear.
Oh, please say Willie.
You would have to have had a run in the last, I think, 47 or something days.
Ooh.
That's a pretty significant
Look
stat.
on the
Tom.
left side of his head, he's starting going a big grey right now.
I don't think it is.
I'm worrying there now a little bit.
Not worried in the slightest. You could look at Quavega then. So what do you look at?
That's not the noodles.
That was
no. So so let's say for the Mayor's Hurdle. So the year after Quavega won, would you say the stat was you can't have run in the previous 300 days? The last 5 winners of this now didn't run in the previous 300 days. You see what I mean? It's not exactly relevant for me.
He's just trying to find a way now to make it work in his head.
Look, I hope it wins for you, Tom.
That wouldn't bother me, to be honest.
I hope it wins for you, but the stats are against you.
That's your
what stats, though? Because he had to run. No, I'm not worried about that, though.
You can see it now, tanking down to the start.
It's the...
You come out now wearing that red hood, trying to keep him calm going out to the start. Take it off and you go fucking ballistic.
The run.
Here's the one. If they gave Honeysuckle a mark of 145 and they ran her in a handicap, right? Let's just say this happened. Would you turn around and say, "Oh, well, no mare has ever won this handicap at Cheltenham"?
She's the
champion. It's not relevant.
We're talking. You're just making up stuff now.
No, but it's the same thing. Like
it's not the same thing.
It is because I don't. They've changed.
Honeysuckle's the champion hurdle winner. This thing came from France.
Yeah, a lot of good horses come from. Most of the good horses come from France.
I genuinely do hope he wins for you, but the fact he hasn't had a run is a negative, and
it's the fact it's in the 4-year-old handicap hurdle that would word living daylights in me.
The 4-year-old, yeah, and generally the winner has had numerous runs either on the flat or over hurdles in the season. It's just the way the race ends up being an outsider wins it because they're just a little bit tougher or more battle hardened. The fact that he hasn't run and is not battle hardened, I know they're saving his mark. That makes sense, but it goes against how to win the race.
He's going to run in a race that he's never going to encounter before. There's going to be 20 odd runners. It's going to be run like the Clappers. He's going to need to jump in the dark. He's going to have horses that will not be able to jump in the dark. There's going to get barged around the place. He's not going to keep wide because he'll be about 20 wide then.
Yeah, no, I hope he wins for Tom.
I hope he wins.
I do completely disagree.
Tom is all over him. I have no real feeling on the noodles. I'll spend a couple of euro on it and that's it.
I love that quality noodles.
Yeah. That's the noodles and the Gold Cup is the boodles.
The noodles and the pot noodle.
I used to like pot noodles. I used to like pot noodles.
College days.
Yeah.
Get you through it.
And beer.
Pot noodles and toast.
And beer.
cereal with beer.
Tesco value vodka. Remember that?
God.
No.
It was good.
Jesus Christ.
We just finished the podcast now and not talk about racing.
No, come on, we do these races on you.
Can we just talk about the Boodles for the next hour? We still be going, I'm telling you.
No.
The tide turns beat you anyway, so.
He's
That
too high
is
a
one
mark.
horse that has zero chance. Zero.
Too high a mark.
Every horse
Way
has a chance.
too high mark. Way too high mark.
You're wrong on the zero because every horse has a chance.
Every horse does have a chance. I knew you'd pick me up on that straight away. But no, he's the wrong price because he's got a very high handicap mark, that lad.
You gotta look for something like Tom's horse actually does have the right mark to win it, but the other things are against him.
It fits the stats, does it?
That one fits the stats. That mark fits the stats.
Oh, okay.
I hate stats.
I remember that.
I think you want to be under 136.
Oh, okay. I think if they banned Boban in off about 144, I'd still back him. But...
Anyway. Kelso 132 on Saturday, the Premier Novice Hurdle. Richmond Lake 7-4, not North Lodge 11-4. Sherlock Jack, that's how you say it, 5-1. Bold Endeavour 7s. Neil's Son 7s, 8-1. Big on the rest. Dave's obvious starting point. Richmond Lake, second to Jambon as we like to call him. And was in front of Muay Thai the last day. He was beat by North Lodge before though. Hung badly that day. Sherlock, whatever the hell you want to call him.
Sherlock
Jack bolted up. Last time 3 from 3 now, including this point. Looks between the top 3 when I was looking about who you go, man.
Yeah, I've seen all of Sherlock Jack's races, and to me, it looked like a Cheltenham horse, to be honest. I doubt he's going to Cheltenham now if he's going up there a week before or 10 days before. The form of his race wasn't exactly frank the last time, but he's winning his races so easy that he's the type of horse that I would continue to follow till he gets bet. So I would pick him. North Lodge was good the last day, but still looks a bit green.
Tom, you?
Yeah, I put up North Lodge last day at Cheltenham, and I'd stick with him here. I thought he was good. It would have been very interesting to see if Hillcrest would have stood up that day. But yeah, no, North Lodge for me. I think this is a good opportunity for him a couple of weeks before Cheltenham.
Yeah, I agree with Tom. I thought North Lodge made the most of Hillcrest's early departure at Cheltenham last time. Very green when he hit the front last time. So I think he's going to come off for this again. Alan King's horse are running well still. I know he has to give £5 away to Richmond Lake. It's more than last time, but I think he'll uphold the form. I think 11-4, 3-1 is a decent enough price considering the strength in the field. So I'm going to have a chance with North Lodge staying from 240. We are going, and that is the Premier Chase. So we have Esper Ramines in the favourite. Haven't seen since last year, finishing third behind Phil on Roof. Itchy Feet, who in fairness now, he's been an alright form the last few days, behind All Mankind. Brave Man's Game, and then he was only about 4 lengths off T42 in that Linkfield Millions race. And he's since went on and franked that form, being second to Fakia Dudali. Clock Cap, I think, won this last year. Emperor Steel, Windsor Avenue, 8-time course winner, Big River, and good on as well. Tom, go back to you with this one. Esper Ramani, a bit short for me, really. Where are you going with it?
Yeah, I think he's probably the right favourite. He's obviously going to put it up to Chantry House, wasn't he, at Aintree before he fell. Decent enough for appearance then behind Fiddler on the Roof and that listed trace at Carlisle. Haven't seen him since. Presume he's had a bit of an issue. That reason, then I will skip over him, to be honest, at that price. Itchy Feet, yeah, cool horse, just doesn't win enough for me. Bristol Demidus is on the back of 3 pretty hard runs now for him. Cloth Cap refused last time. I know that was around Ascot, but he look, to me, just hasn't looked exactly the same horse since he won the Hennessy. He has won at Kelso, which is a positive. You got Windsor Avenue, where's blinkers now. I don't like him and I don't trust him. ABW will kill me for that tomorrow. So this lands me on Empire Steel. 2 runs at Kelso, 2 wins. Dave, I think he's going to turn out to be a very good horse, and the only bad race he's run this season is the one we put him up for at Haydock. So I actually fancy this lad to kick on and win this. I think he's about 7-1. I think he's a good price.
Yeah, a lot of these it's a decent enough race, but a lot of them are kicking on in years. Big River has great course form, but this would be too hard for him. So I fell on the favourite and Empire Steel. I think one of them will win it. Price wise, Empire Steel.
I'm actually going to go with the old boy Big River. Horses for courses, as they say. 8-time winner. He's only been beat twice here before. 4th one of them, and brought down a second. Sorry, not 4th. Brought down a second in another one. 8 wins on the track. Yes, he's going on from years, but he's going to love being around there. He's a decent each way price at 8-1. Yes, it's probably a harder race than he usually contests, but he was a decent horse back in the day, and you can't get away from his course form. And at that, with Esper de Romney being around 2-194, I wouldn't have that. I think Itchy Feet, if he runs with his form, could play a hand, but I think 8-1 each way Big River will be the one for me in this. Right, moving on. 3:15. Is the More Battle Hurdle. Looks a decent enough race. We've Balco Coastal, Metier Bouvardere, 2-time champion hurdle winner. Jessica Harrington is sending over Autumn Evening. We Favor, Cormier, winner Cheltenham last time. Cormoto won a Chepstow. Hector, please. There's a good few winners in it coming into this, Dave. Hard enough race to pick. Would you give Bouvardere a chance of 153? Oh, he is.
No.
No.
Surely,
Legs
not
are
after seeing him since Aintree and
Legs
he's
are
old and all that. I don't know if Nicky's other horse is going to run Balco Coastal, but he'd be the one I'd side with if he did run. You're right, he was beaten by North Lodge the last day.
He was.
And you've both mentioned North Lodge, and I just think he was outstayed that day. He looked like he had the race won, and he got outstayed up the hill. Dropped back to 2 miles, something down to the ground. Nice weight, 10 stone 7. I think he's a good price. But whether he runs or not, I don't know, because I see Nico is jocked up and Boover there. So,
Tom, what about you?
Yeah, the Autumn Evening entry and presumably run is interesting. Sean O'Keefe has dropped up on him. Maybe they've decided to skip Cheltenham and go here. It's worth 51 grand to the winner. That's plenty of money, isn't it? So I don't know. Interesting one for me. I thought they'd be either staying in Ireland or going to Cheltenham with that lad after his really good run at Leopardstown. He would interest me, even though he's up £7 on his Irish mark.
I could be wrong, Tom, but there might be a bonus if you win this race and then win a Cheltenham.
Yeah, there could be. And in fairness, that is a horse who takes his running very well. He's run a hell of a lot. So maybe that is what they're eyeing up. He would have to be bloody good to go and win at Cheltenham. Presume he wins this, he'd have a £5 penalty then for Cheltenham, but put him off 152. I can't. Well, look, fair play if he does. I never imagined Autumn Evening winning Cheltenham handicap of 152. But anyway, look, Metier comes here. He was good the last day. He got his act together, and I was impressed with him. He's got to go and back that up again now. He's up to £7. Doesn't help, but I think his form is good this year. Balco Coastal, you were saying about the North Lodge form. I think 134 is a handicap mark that he'll be winning off of. The one I'm putting up, though, is Bouvardere. I know he's going to have to come on for the run. Probably not. I'm not going to have a bet in this race. But if I was pushed for a selection, it would be him, and I will cheer him on. He's down to a mark of 153. This is back to this insane handicapping that's going on in the UK at the minute. So I know it's not totally relevant because he was running in graded races, but in three runs, he's gone down a stone. Basically, he was off 167 when he ran in the fight, when he got beaten a short head in the fighting fifth behind Cornerstone Lad. Then down to 163, and then down to 158, where he's beaten 4 lengths in the Grade 1. He can come on for the run, but I just think at that rating, he could just outclass these.
Yeah, no problem with that. I looked at it a few times, but as you said, they're back at Coastal. Probably doesn't look like he's going to run with Nico on unless they put something on him to take, unless Sean Bowen or James Bowen ends up riding him. One who I'm really interested in that is Evan Williams' current mood. One last time out at Sheps, though, I followed him a bit at the start of the season. Behind Blazing Cal twice at Cheltenham, then won the last time. It's left on the same mark after the win in novice hurdle. If they put Isabel Williams, if they put her on him, I think they take a nice another chunk of weight off him. Or her, should I? Is it he or her?
Izzy Williams.
No, not her. The horse, I mean. Mare. She's Mare, yeah.
She's a good horse.
She's a good horse. She goes to the front. I think she could put up a good race at that price. Yeah, I think it's very open. She's left on the same mark. Goes on any ground. Yeah, I'll take a chance for current mood. Cormier is another one that I think is at the turn of the corner again. I think he could run another big race after his win at Cheltenham. But current mood is the main selection. Right, on to Newbury. Newbury 150, and we're looking at the Great Wood Gold Cup handicap chase. Grade 3 over 2 mile 4. We've Espoir de Guy on the back for a win from 364 days in at favourite. Dublin 4. We've Glenf 4 senior citizen, the big boys, Darren the Carjack, Man of the Mountain, Sheldon, and so on and so forth. Dave, take this apart.
Two I like in this. I was all over Darian de Carjack last week at Kempton, and he fell at the third fence. He has some good back form against the likes of Champ and some other decent horses, and then kind of had a bad season. But he's been running well in those handicaps at Cheltenham, like the Paddy Barr Gold Cup handicap and so on and so forth. And I just don't think Cheltenham's his track. He's run well at Newbury before. Flatter track seems to suit him. That's why I thought Kempton last week was his thing. He obviously failed, showed no ill effects from that, so they're running him back again. I'd be interested in him. And I like Cheddleton, but a lot of weight. But again, he's an each-way bet. He generally runs well in every. Darragh O'Keefe.
We can find out tomorrow.
Very nice. We'll ask him tomorrow. It's a strange one. But yeah, he just runs good races all the time. And from earlier on in the season, he looked like he wanted the longer trip now. The last race had worried me a bit, but other than that, he had been running really good. So I'd give him an each way chance. So both of those each way.
What you, Tom?
I'm going to go for the big bite. Wouldn't be putting up too many Scorpion horses now on the show, but I'd take a chance on this lad. Bit of an each way price as well at 9-1. Ran a really good race the last time behind Fun and Board Sivola of Venetia Williams, who's come out and won a Grade 2 on his next start. So that looks very good form to me. And where was it? His Newbury run. He's also run well at Newbury behind Umbragado. So I'll take that. I think he's got a good chance. And the other thing was the stable are in pretty good form. This is where you have to read into stats because it says that Henry Oliver is 0 out of 8 in the last 14 days. But out of those 8 runners, 4 of them has finished second. So that could read a lot differently if a couple of those turned around a different way. So stable are in good form, and the big bite, I will take a chance on him.
I'm going to take a chance with Paint the Dreams, Fergal O'Brien's horse. Started off the season with a good win at Chepstow, beating Man of the Mountain by 9.5 lengths. Then was 13 lengths behind Midnight Shadow and the Paddy Power at the November meeting at Cheltenham. The last 2 runs have been okay, but I think in such an open race like this, the way he gets ridden, it could play to be up with the pace in races like this. So, yeah, I think at a big price enough, I will take a chance of Paint the Dreams. I think 4 as well, if he's ridden with restraint, if they do go too fast. So I'll have one in the front, I'll have one in the back just in case. 4, he's side through the pack if they do end up going too fast. So, yeah, 2 of them for me. We are finishing off. What was the last one? Christ.
Doncaster, 330.
Doncaster, 330. That's the one.
The Grinthorpe.
Grinthorpe handicap chase over 3 mile 2. Absolute slog around Doncaster. We have Lemilos in a favourite. When last time was Sandown. Storm Patrol, who got done by Windsor Avenue, pulled miles clear of the rest. We So You Think So again. Windsor Avenue, Emperor de Mauld, Tom's Pick, Mr. Monarchy, Powers Park, Clock Cap, and so on. Tom, Mr. Monarchy, enter today. Jockey sees Harry Bannister's jocked up. All looks rosy.
Yeah, I still have no idea at all why they didn't run last week in a race that he run well in and won. I think boggles me, that one. But look, he's turning up here in the Grimthorpe chase. I think he's very well handicapped on his old form. He's had a change of trainer. Richard Bandy can definitely get one ready. Yeah, he's going to be my selection. I can't believe how big he is, to be honest. What price is he there? 8 to 1. I'm gonna take a little bit of that for myself. The other one I give a shout out to is obviously the Tim Vaughan trained Lemilos. Has won his last 2 starts. Looks pretty progressive. Up to 143. Might find life a little bit tougher, but is worth a shot at this. And was bought privately in France by my dear friend Nathaniel. So, shout out to Lemilos. Be a nice winner for Tim.
Yep.
I'm going for, well, if he runs, Charlie Longson's horse, Almazar Guard. He goes from the front. He can be a bit of a lunatic, but Doncaster suits horses that go from the front. They can kick off the bend, and if they keep jumping well, sometimes can't be caught. So him each way, it's not the best race in the world. So.
Yeah, I'm going with a front runner as well. I'm going to go with Storm Control. Beat last time by Windsor Avenue, where he looked every part to win until the final 100 yards. They pulled 16 lengths clear of Captain Orr, who won last week, last Saturday. So the form has been franked. He won the time before that, beating Tango Boy in Newbury. He's a very good front runner, and I think he'll lead him in Merry Dance. And whether I reckon he'll stay the trip because he put miles clear the last time. Whether he'll find 1-2 good is another thing, but I think he'll give you a decent run for your money.
For what it's worth, if my fella don't run, I would go for Storm Control.
Yeah, so Storm Control. I can't even talk today. That's the last one. Nap's next best. We get out of here.
My nap would be if he runs Balgo Coastal, and my next best is, what's the name of the horse?
That fella.
Don't even know. It's Sherlock Jack.
Sherlock. Tom.
Me. My nap is definitely Mr. Malarkey. And my next best to be the Big Bite. I see the Big Bite is actually entered on Friday as well. So whatever race the Big Bite runs in, I'm keen to back him. So yeah, Nap, Mr. Malarkey, next best, the Big Bite.
Nap, North Lodge, next best, Storm Control. Nice. So that is us done this week. We are, if you're around, if we're back, we're not back Sunday. I won't be here. I'm traveling, so there won't be any talking points on Sunday. We are doing our Cheltenham Festival preview tomorrow or today if you're watching Thursday. So that's on at 8 o'clock in the Tower Hotel. If you want to get your free tickets, you can get the tickets in the link below. It's in the description. And yeah, come along. Be a good night. A few drinks, bit of Cheltenham talk, bit of banter. All good fun. So until then, we will see you again next. Cheltenham quiz next Wednesday.
We can do, yeah. We can do a quiz next Wednesday. Yeah. Will you be setting it up, even though you're?
I can set it up.
In
we know closer to the time.
Lands far, far away.
Lands far, far away. Not as far as land down under, but still.
Where you're known affectionately as Andy.
Andy.
On that fucking bombshell. We will see you next week, and if not, we will see you tomorrow. Don't you dare!
It's about to go again.
Don't. Oh, if you have to Cheltenham preview night tomorrow, we'll see you tomorrow night. If not, we will see you next week for another weekend preview or quiz. We'll find out.